Independent filmmaker Supriyo Sen is widely acclaimed all over the world for his documentary and short films. The National Award recipient is also being awarded with the prestigious Sundance Documentary Fund, Asian Network of Documentary Award, and so on.
The Berlin Today Award 2009 goes to Wagga by Supriyo Sen.
Welcome back to my channel. So I hope you liked my previous videos, and I have someone very special with me, Mr. Supriyo Sen sir. He is a well-known filmmaker from our country who has won national awards along with so many of international awards. Today we will talk about something related to his journey, his works, and we will try to know something more about his works and all. Hello sir, welcome to my channel. So sir, first of all we want to know that how the journey started, like how you got the motivation for choosing this kind of career option. So could you please tell us something about it?
See, filmmaking, I never considered filmmaking as a career because I had already had a career. I used to work in an insurance company, and so I had a job. So it was initially started as a passion. So during the early 90s, around 1991, 92, I made some friends, and they were very much interested in cinema. So previously I used to watch movies, but I never took cinema seriously. But when I met these young friends, and we started watching movies together, all of us, I mean, grew a sort of keen interest in cinema, and we started learning about it more and more. And after a point we realized that we need to, I mean it's not only about watching movies, let us try to do something. So during those days in West Midnapur, Chargram, there was a stone crushing factory where people died of silicosis. We came to know about this in a newspaper. It was a very small report, but we realized that something serious is happening there. So we thought, let us go and check what is happening. We went there with a camera. While reached there, we found that many people died while working in that stone crushing company because of the environmental condition. Many people are suffering. 2-3 villages are already destroyed. So we realized that it's a very serious situation, and no one is actually talking about it. No one is supporting the people who are suffering from the disease. The owner is absconding. The trade union people are silent. Only the activists, they are trying to raise the issue. So we kept on going there for 1 year, shooting there several times, and made a documentary out of it called Wait Until Death. So that film created a lot of impact. People came to know about the suffering of the people from that film only, and some of the activists went to Supreme Court to fight for the workers, and they won the case, and the film played a very important role to kind of raising the public opinion around the issue. And also it worked well as a film, although I didn't have any formal training in filmmaking. So it was my first film, so I didn't know much about how to shoot, how to edit and everything. So during the process I learned it. So I realized that, I mean, maybe I'll be able to express myself through the form of cinema. So from then I kept on making films. The second film I made is called uh, The Dream of Hanif, about our traditional scroll painter. And the third film was called The Nest. It was about an old person and his family who risked their life to save migratory birds from the poachers. So that film got national award. So gradually, step by step, my skill developed a bit. Also exposure, I got the kind of exposure in a broader space. And gradually it, gave me confidence that I can keep on going and telling story in this format of cinema. It was not very easy because there was not much financial support for documentaries in this country. There is no funds, there is no television that they show documentaries. So it was not easy. But I loved the medium, and it was very powerful medium, I realized, to tell human stories, especially about real issues and real people. So yeah, so the next film was called Way Back Home. It was about my parents. They came to India from Bangladesh in 1950 when the Indian partition happened in 1947. So I took them back to their homeland after 50 years and made a road movie which deals with the history of partition, personal history and the broader narrative of partition. So yeah, that film was very successful. With the audience also, I got critical acclamation. It showed many parts of the world. It won award. Also, this is the first Indian documentary which was called commercially realistic. So the next film I made is called Hope Dies Last in War. It was about the prisoners of war. Indian prisoners of war who are languishing in Pakistani jails since 71 war. So the film was about their families who are still suffering. The film is also very critical about the role of the government. They fail to get their men back from Pakistan. So it was a sort of investigative film. And yeah, so yeah. Also, this film was very much appreciated by the audience. The film won gold medal.
Sir, could you please tell us something about the Wagah film, which has got so many kind of international and national awards? So we want to know about that film also.
Actually, what happened in 2007, Berlin Film Festival, they gave a call to the filmmakers of the world to submit projects on the concept of wall.
Okay.
Means border or something. It was like that. It can be psychological wall, it can be political wall, whatever. So they received almost 200 projects from all over the world. So out of that, they invited 18 filmmakers to pitch their project in Berlin during the Berlin Film Festival in 2008. So I went there, I pitched my idea about Wagah border. So, and it got selected. They selected 5 films to be commissioned. One is from USA, one is from Germany, UK, Lebanon and India. So my story was about this Wagah border, which is like the only checkpoint between India and Pakistan. It also reflects, it's a very interesting space. It's on the one hand, it represents the division of this country, how the two countries are divided, so because it's a hardcore checkpoint. On the other hand, every evening there is a parade take place, and to see that parade, people gather there, and they also gather to see the people from the other side. So there is also a connection. So and it is very palpable. On the one hand, the parade is very much choreographed, very nationalistic, jingoistics. I mean, it's a sort of showing. The kind of power they have to to the other side. But at the same time, I mean, when the parade is over, people try to go as close to the border and try to see each other, talk to each other. So I always.
One of your interviews, you have mentioned that the short filmmakers or the short filmmaking has a bright future in our country. So could you please give us some tips or tactics for the upcoming short filmmakers who are very much enthusiastic towards short filmmaking or movie making or documentary or something like that?
See, I mean, what I would suggest to the young filmmaker is to see more and more cinema, from classics to contemporary cinema, to learn the art form, because it's an art form. It's not just grab a camera, go out and ask your friends to act on something, and it's not that. It's an art form. So you have to learn it. You have to learn the technology, and also you have to learn the aesthetics. And to know the aesthetics, you need to watch a lot of movies and different kind of movies, from the silent movies to the contemporary one, from science, the classics, the contemporary, whatever. That is one thing. Second is see, nowadays technology is much available than before. When we started, there were not much technical progression happened. It came, gradually with digital technology and everything, it became more accessible. But at the same time, this accessibility created some problem also. I mean, we all have this kind of attitude that, okay, I have a camera, I can do whatever I like.
True.
But it's not that easy. You need to learn how to shoot. You need to learn how to tell a story. You need to learn how to lead a certain kind of situation. You need to learn how to handle a documentary situation, or if it is a fiction, you need to learn how to handle your actors and everything. So there are so many things to learn, and so I would suggest the filmmakers, the short filmmakers who are trying to prove themselves in this format and trying to find their own kind of expression. I would suggest them, I would request them, learn more, practice more, and see how you are kind of facilitate yourself to grasp the medium in this process, because it is not very easy, because filmmaking is as spontaneous as writing poetry or painting. So it requires it requires talent, and also it requires your ability to execute it, because it is at the same time it's a technical medium. So of course there are a lot of technology is available. There are a lot of platforms where you can show your film, but end of the day you have to make a good film which reaches people, and only good cinema reach people. Otherwise it restricted between your friends and family members. So so you have to know how to tell good stories, how to tell stories, good stories with good technological skill. So that is very important.